The hidden discovery. There are rare moments in human history when a single discovery changes everything we thought we knew about the universe and ourselves. Moments so profound they fracture our entire understanding of reality, sending waves of uncertainty, even fear through the most logical, rational minds. Right now, we may be standing on the precipice of one such moment. Deep within the vast archives of the James Webb Space Telescope, our greatest cosmic observatory to date, lies a mysterious image. Hidden in plain sight, it has quietly resurfaced, revealing something so startling, so precise, it threatens to upend what we believed was possible in the cosmos. For months, astronomers and scientists around the globe celebrated the Webb's first deep field image, SMACS 0723. It was hailed as a breathtaking achievement, a jewel of deep space observation. This image unveiled thousands of galaxies, some billions of years old, some formed even before the Earth itself. Galaxies in collision. Ancient light stretched across unimaginable distances and time. The raw, immense scale of the universe laid bare. But behind this stunning cosmic panorama, something far more unsettling was unfolding quietly behind the scenes. A small section of the mid-infrared data, just a few pixels lost among thousands, was mysteriously withheld from public release. No official explanation was given. No press coverage. Only silence. When that data finally slipped out, leaked through obscure astronomy forums and unofficial channels, it wasn't just another star cluster or black hole. It was something anomalous. Something artificial. So unnaturally precise and deliberate in its pattern that it left even the most seasoned astrophysicists speechless. What exactly did this hidden image reveal? Why was this data deliberately concealed? And most unsettling of all, what force in the universe could have left behind a signature so clear it resembled a message? It all began on a historic day, July 12, 2022. NASA unveiled the first full-color images from the James Webb Space Telescope to a stunned world. Among them, SMACS 0723 shone brightest, a jewel of the cosmos. But as astronomers and researchers began analyzing the accompanying raw data, a strange inconsistency appeared. A small section of the mid-infrared spectrum was flagged for further calibration. In NASA's technical language, that usually means, ignore it for now. But independent astrophysicists, curious as ever, refused to let it go. Weeks passed. Months passed. Yet that small section remained unavailable. Finally, under growing pressure from the global scientific community and after persistent leaks on online astronomy forums, the hidden data was quietly released. And what it revealed was chilling. At first glance, it appeared as nothing more than a dark blotch. But when researchers zoomed in, corrected for infrared aberrations, and layered temporal data, a completely different picture emerged. A concentrated thermal signature appeared, one with an unusual uniform structure and, most disturbingly, a pulsing core. Unlike natural stars, whose light fluctuates unpredictably due to physical cycles, this object's emissions were mechanically timed. They had intervals, gaps, repetitions. A pulse so consistent it defied all known celestial behavior. When physicists ran a spectral analysis, the pattern was eerily familiar. Not a natural cosmic formation but a modulated frequency. Something built. The infrared pulse was not random. It was organized. Applying a discrete Fourier transform revealed symmetrical harmonics like chords in a piece of music. These were not accidental emissions. They were deliberate, structured, and unmistakably artificial. The European Southern Observatory compared the signal to the rotating pulses of pulsars, but even pulsars wobble and vary. This signal did not. It was as if someone or something had deliberately crafted this pattern to be noticed. To stand out against the natural background hum of space. Here's the truly mind-bending part. The pulse matched a frequency first detected by Voyager 2 over 2 decades ago. At the time, it was dismissed as mere interference in a routine deep space transmission. But now, with this new Webb data, that old Voyager signal took on an entirely new significance. A missing puzzle piece. A pattern repeated, once in the far reaches of interstellar space, and now again, captured from a region 4.6 billion light-years away. Some theorists say we're witnessing echoes. Others suggest a synchronization across vast distances and time. But a growing faction of scientists dares to whisper something far more provocative. What if this is a beacon? Not a call for help. Not a threat. But confirmation. Confirmation that we are not alone. That someone, somewhere, has been trying to reach out to us for far longer than we ever. The implications and the unknown as the mysterious signal spread quietly through the scientific community. Whispers turned into urgent conversations behind closed doors. Internal memos began to leak, revealing something deeply unusual: the involvement of defense contractors, intelligence agencies, and government departments that had no clear reason to be interested in space science. What was it about this tiny patch of cosmic data that triggered a multi-agency response? Then came the resignations. Several engineers and researchers, all of them deeply embedded in the James Webb mission, stepped down abruptly and without public explanation. Privately, some claimed they were disturbed by what they had uncovered. This wasn't just a pulse of radiation or some natural fluctuation. It was a structured message, one that seemed to carry within it a set of instructions highly complex, mathematical, and precise. Among those instructions were references to quantum algorithms far beyond current theory. Encoding keys. Hypothetical architectures for machines that don't yet exist. And most unsettling of all, schematics for constructing a kind of receiver. A device not designed to collect the first signal but to unlock a second, deeper transmission embedded beneath it. Suddenly, this wasn't just a discovery. It was an invitation. Then something even stranger surfaced. As researchers applied quantum-level analysis to the signal, they discovered that it encoded cosmic alignments that haven't happened yet. Galaxies not currently visible to our instruments set to become visible in the far future were already mapped into the structure of the transmission. It was as if the message wasn't only traveling across space, it was written from the perspective of another point in time. That's when the Sentinel hypothesis began gaining traction. It proposed that what we found wasn't a probe, a ship, or even a message in the traditional sense but a monitoring station, placed in our corner of the universe billions of years ago. A passive observer, left behind by an intelligence so advanced its tools are indistinguishable from the laws of physics themselves. It was never meant to reveal itself until we were capable of seeing it. And now we have. That's when the signal changed. Subtle shifts in timing and energy output were detected. The pulse, once steady and unchanging, had altered. The difference was small but real. It was as if our observation triggered a response. Something somewhere was paying attention. But perhaps the most unsettling discovery came from deeper spatial modeling. The object didn't appear to be made of matter in any traditional sense. It had no mass, no measurable composition. Instead, it behaved like a distortion, a structured interference pattern, embedded into the curvature of spacetime itself. Like a hologram. A construct of pure information not meant to be seen with eyes, but understood with mind and math. Scientists began calling it the mirror. Because it didn't just show the stars. It seemed to reflect something about us, our progress, our ambition, and perhaps even our readiness. This wasn't just a message to humanity. It was a test of perception. A cosmic puzzle left behind not to announce presence but to wait for someone to arrive at the right level of understanding to see it. To notice what had always been there. And now, as the silence deepens, the question grows louder. Was this object truly waiting for us? And if so, what happens now that we've found it? Because this isn't just an artifact. It isn't just contact. It's a moment one designed, possibly orchestrated, by something that may have seen us coming long before we ever built the tools to look up and wonder. The James Webb Telescope may have been designed to look into the past. But in its most silent corner, it may have found something watching from